Hello everyone. Today our practice will be a yin and yang practice. We'll be balancing postures that are both yin and yang. So in our yin practice, we focus on deep connective tissue. So we hold postures for a bit longer. And in our yang practice, we are building strength and heat. So we'll be balancing those two today. So let's begin our practice lying down on our mats, on our backs, with our knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. Once we've arrived here, resting on our backs, let's bring the hands to the belly. Let's begin to feel lightness in the front part of the body. So as the breath moves in and out, we feel light. And in the back part of the body, we feel a supported, comforted feeling as the back body presses down. With each inhale, we become lighter, and with each exhale, we melt and feel more supported, more comforted. Let's allow the knees to now begin to gently drift away from one another, bringing the soles of the feet towards one another as we make our way into reclining butterfly. Hands can stay on the belly or down by our sides for support if we need. Let's begin to bring a bit of movement, matching movement and breath. The legs come closer together, knees draw towards one another, and then the knees float back out to the sides, making the butterfly wings move up and down, being in control of the movement, allowing the breath to match the movement, inhaling and exhaling. Let's now allow the arms to float up, become very light and float up, hands reaching up towards the ceiling as we allow the knees to float out and remain in reclining butterfly. Let's give the fingers a wiggle, give the wrists a roll. And then inhale, arms all the way up and overhead. For a big stretch here, reaching up through the fingertips, feeling the rib cage lift up and away from the abdominal organs, creating space and freedom. Keeping the arms just as they are, reaching up. Let's bring the knees back towards one another, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor, walking the feet just a little bit further apart, creating a space in between the legs. On our next inhale, we'll reach up through the fingers. On our exhale, we'll begin to peel the arms, the head, and the shoulder blades up and away from the mat, reaching the arms through the legs, and then inhaling, opening back up, reaching up. Exhale, we round in, reaching through the legs, bringing a little bit of heat into the core. Let's move through 2 more full breaths. Allowing the arms to drift up and overhead. Walking the feet just a bit closer together, knees stay bent, keeping the arms as they are, or deciding as we move into bridge pose that maybe the arms can float back down by the sides for support. On our next inhale, we'll root down through the feet, and we'll begin to lift the hips away from the floor, peeling the hips up, peeling each vertebra up. The belly button moves up towards the ceiling, and then we allow everything to drift back down on the exhale. Everything touches down momentarily and then begins to peel and lift once again. Inhaling and exhaling. Continue this movement with your breath, positioning arms in a way that feels comfortable. On our next inhale, the hips peel up and away from the mat. We hold here in bridge position, using calm strength to keep the body in this pose, trying to melt tension away from any other part of the body: forehead, jaw, throat, shoulders, belly. Even relaxing the back body so the glute muscles become relaxed. Let's begin to roll all the way back down. Low back touches, hips touch down. We're going to move into our first yin posture. So we're going to move into keyhole. Let's keep the left foot planted on the floor. We'll cross the right ankle over onto the left knee. Staying right here, seeing how this feels, we've created a keyhole in the leg shape. This is a keyhole stretch. So this may be all that's necessary today to feel an opening in the right hip. Another option is that we can lift the left foot away from the mat and thread both arms through and support the left leg from behind. If you start to feel any tension or unwanted sensation in the hip, in the shoulders or the neck, move into a more comfortable position. So you still feel the opening, but maybe the pressure and the pain might be gone. We're going to hold this posture for about 10 to 15 breaths. So it needs to be something that you can hold for that long without a lot of strain or effort. In these yin postures, we're getting into the deep connective tissue. So we commit ourselves to stillness once we've found a posture that we can hold and maintain. Try as best as we can to be still. Let the body melt into this position. Use the breath to soften out any areas that may be holding on. Check in. If the brows are holding any tension, or the jaw, the mouth. See if the shoulders feel tense, the back of the neck. A few more breaths here, sending the exhales down into the hips.
left foot is lifted up and away from the mat. Let's bring it back down. Keeping the same position, the same keyhole position, we're going to move into a twist. So expand the arms out to the side for just a little bit more support. Begin to tip the legs over to the left. So the right foot begins to move towards the floor. May not make it all the way to the floor. It's moving towards the floor. We'll stay here in this twist for about 10 breaths. If anything becomes painful in the knees, shift the legs into a position that feels a bit better so that you can still enjoy the twist without the pain, without the pressure. Let's begin to bring ourselves back to center. If the right ankle is still crossed over the left knee, let's uncross and take a few breaths here to make any movements that the body is asking for. Maybe shifting the knees side to side, drawing the knees into the chest, whatever feels really good right now. Let the body lead the way. And then when you're ready, bringing everything back to center, moving into that keyhole stretch on the other side. Left ankle crosses to the right knee. Staying right here for just a moment, and then making that conscious decision to maybe move into that posture of the threading through the arms with the lifted foot, or maybe deciding that this feels just fine. Choosing your position now, seeing how that feels into the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the neck, and deciding if this is a posture that you could hold for a bit of time. Making any adjustments now, and then drifting your way into stillness. Just a few more breaths here. Sending the exhales anywhere you feel that you need a little bit of softening. If the right foot is lifted, just lower it back down to the mat. Arms come out to the side for support. And we move into the twist on this side. The legs begin to move towards the right. Maybe the left foot touches down. Maybe it doesn't. Find a position that you can remain in a twist for about 45 seconds, 10 breaths. Let's begin to make our way back to center. If the left ankle is still crossed, we'll uncross, bringing the soles of both feet back to the mat. Once again, taking some time here, a few breaths. Any movement that comes, allow it to come. Now begin to transition our way up to all fours. Once you've arrived in all fours, spreading weight through the entire hand and fingers, finding the knees to be right underneath the hips, with the lower part of the legs extending back parallel to one another. Just checking in, the toes aren't moving towards one another into the middle or moving out to the sides. Let's begin to bring some movement, shifting back and shifting forward, kind of teasing our way into child's pose and kneeling plank. This is the part of the practice considered yang, so building heat in the body. When you're ready, arriving into child's pose and setting yourself up here. Maybe the hips need to be up and away from the heels a bit to protect the knees. Let's melt the head and heart down towards the mat. On our next inhale, we're going to begin our half flow. We're going to inhale our way through all fours and into kneeling plank. From here, we'll lower all the way down, elbows stay tight to the body. On our next inhale, we peel our way up into cobra, nice and easy. Exhale, floating back down towards the mat. On our next inhale, we'll use all the strength that we need to push our way back to all fours and then settling into child's pose. We're going to continue that for a few more times, moving and breathing in your own time. Inhale to kneeling plank. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, drifting back down. Inhale, pushing up through all fours and back to child's pose. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, floating down. Inhale to all fours and back to child's pose. Last time, right here through our flow, we inhale our way to kneeling plank. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, floating down. Inhale to all fours. And this time we'll stay in child's pose for a bit of time, so set yourself up here for comfort. We'll allow the head and chest to melt down, resting the arms if the arms need a rest. On our next inhale, we'll make our way to all fours and step 1 foot forward. Curl the toes under on the opposite foot. Lift the knee so that we set ourselves up here to be able to step forward and make our way into forward fold. Soften the knees generously here so that we can feel that hinging at the waist. Belly may even rest on the top of the legs. Let's shake the head yes, no. Now rooting down through the feet so that we can rise up. The inhale brings the arms all the way up. And we rise up, meeting here in extended mountain pose, reaching up through the fingers.
And then we exhale, allowing the arms to drift down by our sides, finding our way into mountain pose. Let's spin the palms forward, loop the shoulders back and around, shoulder blades slide down the back. We soften the knees, but we still feel that good energy flowing up through the legs from the arches of the feet. On our next inhale, the arms float all the way back up. And we arrive in extended mountain pose. Reaching up. Inhale here. The arms loop around, circling around, and then come forward as the hips sit back. We arrive here in chair. The arms are uncomfortable outstretched. We can always shorten the arms in. Inhale, we rise all the way back up to extended mountain. Exhale, sweeping the arms around and sitting back into chair. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, sweeping the arms forward, sending the hips back. Now this time, if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit here, we can lift the heels up and away from the mat, coming into a balancing chair. And then we lower the heels, sweep the arms, inhale all the way up, right back into extended mountain. Exhale, arms circle around, sit the hips back into chair. Add that heel lift if you'd like. Inhale, lower the heels, sweep the arms. And one last time. Exhale, the arms sweep around, hips sit back, we arrive in chair. Lift the heels if you'd like. Staying right here for just a few more breaths. Stay with me. Let's lower the heels. Inhale. Arms sweep up. Extended mountain. And then the arms float all the way down. We arrive here in mountain pose. Spin the palms forward. Loop the shoulders back. Soften the knees. Now at this point in the practice, before we move on, it would be great if you had a stool or a chair or even a couch to move right in front so that it's there for you when you need it. We'll be using it for a balancing posture. So we're going to begin to move weight into the right foot. We're going to then take the lighter leg, the left leg, and we're going to step back, pivot and plant the left foot so that all four corners of the left foot are pressing down into the mat. Begin to shift weight until you finally feel that balance. We're bending into the front leg. And then if it's comfortable to sweep the arms up, reaching up through fingertips and then sinking down. It's almost like we're being pulled in two opposite directions. Relax the shoulders. Begin to bring a bit of movement into this posture, so keeping the arms just as they are if it's comfortable. We'll begin to straighten the front leg. And then on our exhale, we'll let the elbows lead the way right into cactus position. Inhale, arms rise up. Leg straightens out just a bit. Exhale, we sink. Now this time, as we move into cactus arms, we're going to sweep the arms down and around and out in front of us. We're going to imagine that we're reaching out towards something just out of reach. We're going to begin shifting weight. So we have that feeling of light and heavy again. The right leg, the front leg becomes heavy. The left leg feels lighter and lighter. Then we're going to take the right hand and bring it down onto your chair, stool, couch, whatever you might have.
Bringing that right hand down. Now let's shift weight out of the back leg. Right hand rests, we balance on the right leg, and we open all the way up to the side here. Left arm reaches up, extending. If you can, lifting the left leg, feeling the support of your chair or your stool or the couch, trusting, opening, believing in yourself. We're reaching up, expanding through left fingers and right heel. So press the right heel back. See if maybe you can challenge yourself to come up and away from your chair. Maybe that arm can lighten up a little bit. It's always there if you need it. Let's begin to bring the left foot back down. If you need to, you can bring both hands around to your chair. And then as you feel steady, begin to shift your way all the way back up to standing. All 10 toes are pointing in one direction. Let's give ourselves a little push from behind, stepping both feet up, side by side. Arriving here in mountain pose and using this opportunity, take a few breaths, maybe soften or close the eyes. Sense into what you're feeling. Taking a nice deep breath in, filling up, and then exhale, let everything go. And give everything a little wiggle, a little shake. And as we shift to the other side, I'll be moving my stool so that it makes it a little bit easier to see. This time we'll be shifting weight into the left foot. So the right foot becomes light, and we step the right foot back. Plant the right foot, all four corners down, and then begin balancing weight forward and back until you find that perfect balance. We inhale the arms up, and then we sink. On the inhales, we feel light up through the fingertips. On the exhale, we sink down into the legs. Begin to bring a bit of movement here. On our inhale, we straighten the front leg just a bit. On the exhale, the elbows drift down. Inhale, lengthening and expanding. Exhale, sinking and grounding. Just a few more here, just like this. This time, as we find the elbows becoming heavy and drifting down to the sides, we'll sweep the arms forward, reaching just in front of us. We move weight into the left. The right foot becomes lighter and lighter. And then we allow the left hand to come down onto the chair, onto the stool. And we begin to open all the way up to the side. Right arm drifts up, fingertips reaching. Left heel presses, right arm, right heel presses. This is balancing half moon pose. Oftentimes we see it in a different way, that we're reaching down towards the floor. I really enjoy this elevated half moon. I find that it's a lot more fun. Now let's begin to guide our way all the way back down so that we can bring weight back down into the right foot. Use your chair here, both arms on the chair if you need. And then we'll guide our way back up to a standing position. This time we'll come all the way into a wide stance. And we'll bring the heels in, toes out. The arms inhale up and we create this nice beautiful sunrise with the arms. And then on our exhale, the sun sets. And we just let it drift all the way down. Inhale, sunrise. Exhale, sunset. Moving and breathing here.
2 more full breaths. We rise all the way up. We allow the arms to float down. Now, just for the fun of it, from our wide-legged stance, we're going to drift our way down into a squat. So it's fun to have all sorts of props here so that if we're not comfortable squatting down and holding ourselves there, it's always fun to have props. Have stuff that you can stack here so that you can still enjoy the opening of the hips that we get from a squat. So have something here in the center if you need it. And then we'll just bring the hands to heart center and we'll begin to lower. And maybe you'll arrive in a place where you feel like I could stay here for a few breaths. Maybe you'd like to come all the way down to your perch here. And then opening here, the knees migrate out to the side. Now, wherever we may be, let's gently guide our way all the way down to seated on the floor. We'll extend the legs out in front of us. And we'll give everything a nice wiggle. Shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. Maybe give the shoulders a few nice rolls forward and back. Adding some movement into the neck, side to side. And then looking up and gazing down. Our last posture for this practice will be a yin posture called broken wing. So that we begin this posture by arriving on our bellies, and then one arm extends out to the side, and we roll towards that arm, off of the belly and on towards that arm. It's really nice here to have something to support the front body. So as we roll towards the extended arm, sliding a pillow in to support the front body and kind of draping yourself over that pillow. So let's begin to make our way onto our bellies. Deciding which arm you'd like to extend first, and your pillow will come to the opposite side. So I'm going to extend my right arm first, coming down to rest all the way down. Head turns to the opposite direction. Have our pillow ready. We're going to begin to roll towards that extended arm. And we've just opened up the whole front body here. Bring the pillow in and support. You can drape one knee and one arm over. Let the head rest. We'll feel an opening in the front shoulder and in the chest. If you find you need a little bit more opening, you can always roll further towards that extended arm, or if you need less sensation, roll back more onto the belly.
begin to make our way out of this posture, rolling back towards the belly, and then bringing the arm to stack hand upon hand, and rest the forehead down. Taking a moment here. Any movements or adjustments you'd like to make before we find our way to broken wing on the other side. When you're ready, we'll extend the opposite arm out to the side. We'll begin to roll towards that arm, bringing our pillow bolster right into the other side, resting the head down. Let's begin to transition out of this posture. And when you're ready, rolling your way into a final resting position. Choose your resting position. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm going to guide us into final rest, and then I'm going to allow you to decide how long your final rest lasts. Maybe you'd like to take a nap. Maybe you'd like your final rest to last 15 or 20 minutes. So as we guide our way in, make ourselves comfortable. We're here at home, which is a gift, because we have all of our comfort items. Maybe we'd like to climb back into bed to do our final rest, or onto a couch, prop ourselves up with blankets and pillows. Once again, we'll feel light in the front body, grounded in the back body. The breath moves freely, allowing for expansion and light, and also grounding and comfort. Enjoy your final rest and stay just as long as you please.